And welcome back, everybody, to Atlanta, to the HCS season finals. Apologies to everyone at home who might not have heard what we just said. Unfortunately, the internet did crash in the venue.
Yep.
But we've got a hard reset on Andy. I saw you were under the desk a minute ago, filling with some wires.
No,
he sorted it. He sorted it. Don't worry.
Don't let me deal with any wires, that's for sure. But you probably were spared a few minutes of what we were saying while the internet was down, which is probably for the better.
Yeah, most definitely. But just to reset the things for everyone at home, and if you are just joining us, welcome along. We were waiting for you to join us, and now we're into our game number 3, hopefully. We're going to see Strongholds on the rig as our game number 3. Tox currently 2-0 up in the series in our first best of 7. They're looking for that bracket reset, looking to send it to that second best of 7. And this is a big game here for Reciprocity. And you feel like the break might help them just regain a little bit of composure, Andy.
Absolutely. And the question for me is, what kind of opening are we going to see here after that tightly contested late camel grab in game 1?
Here we go. Royal 2 pushing towards the barrels to start this one up for Trippy. Gets the first kill of the game here on Snakebite.
Yeah, Snakebite did get that camel right away, so that's going to be an early burn, very different start, burn right around 51.
Right down and staying pick up kills. Frosty misses that railgun, and now he's going to be coming under a little bit of pressure. However, he's dealt with pressure for his entire Halo 5 career. Puts Snipe down into the respawn screen, and now picks up the double kill on Saiyan. That's what we want to see back here in Atlanta, now that we're back online.
Knows exactly where to look there. Great trigger discipline, opting to not take down the Tower 1 player. Instead, saving it for some action around engine.
Yeah, and doing a great job of putting that power weapon to use. However, Reciprocity, for all the slays that have been going down, haven't got away from them too much at the moment. Reciprocity, as you can see, trying to convert this basement with Trippy and Pistola on the carbine. Looks like they're trying to maybe prioritize a few kills before going for this capture.
Trippy's going to need help here back rail. He's doing a great job staying alive and laying down shots as much as he can. Somehow he makes it happen. I don't know how. Great pressure certainly coming in. As I take a look at his teammates' screens, they also came to help there right around back rail. So really good help from both Pistola and Saiyan to make that happen.
Yeah, great patience there from Trippy as well. 3 players now full for Tox, and they're pushing the triple cap immediately. Trippy in this stronghold with Pistola. They're going to cap that one nice and quickly.
It's still 2 dead there as we take a look. By the way, Reciprocity right now outslaying their opponents here 11-6.
Look at the timing. Just Frosty unfortunately just walked straight past Trippy without knowing he was there. Now he's going to have a 1v1 battle. Shields get dropped. You can see the player maybe charging him. It's going to be Snakebite. Snakebite though backed up. Great shots here from Trippy. Great opening from this young man.
Lots about to happen here. Active camo in 30, rail in 15.
21-7 the score then early on here. Reciprocity with the early lead. Snakebite going to get that beat down, and that's going to allow Frosty to get the trade here, but scoring still very much in the hands of Reg.
Next camo, big turning point here. We'll see Reciprocity certainly wants to get control if they can, or at least force the burn, because right now they're looking really strong off the opening, up 27-7.
You can see the railgun's going to be popping as well. Snakebite's trying to make a move on that. You can see his teammate here. Trippy and it's going to be sniped down, and Pistola trying to put themselves into position for it, but now you can see it's going to be Saiyan who moves in on that camouflage, drops down, and that's a sneaky little jump back up towards his teammates.
Wow.
Beautiful work there from Saiyan.
Monkeying around there, an excellent jump there up to the rail platform, jumps around, stays alive with this camo. Even though they lost control, they can take their time to regain it.
Yeah, and I think Tox will be going, where is Saiyan? They'll be looking in the obvious areas around that railgun area and trying to basically locate where he is, but Saiyan's come back around now, and he's going to be in a totally different position to what they expect.
Right there, maybe a teammate there that ended up taking down the player there with the scatter on back rail. That was a confusing sequence of events, as you did see Saiyan get the kill on that. But right here, they're really taking their time. But as we've said this, the game has now come within 4 points, as Tox has been scoring all the while that Saiyan had this camo.
Saiyan does a good job here. He has a 1v1 in the basement. Royal 2 should be taken down here by Saiyan, and had those first shots on him. So important when you're going up against Royal 2 to do that, and look at that, the present he's found as well. Total control momentarily there for Reciprocity, but now they have control of the basement and the nest, and Saiyan has a couple of shots left in the railgun.
Yeah, and here's an opportunity for him to move really wherever he wants, because the next camo is not for about 1 minute, so this is going to give him the opportunity to bring this rail where he wants to, where he needs, without worrying about needing to be in the center of the map with the rail.
Yeah, Sniper picks up some kills here. Snipe down picks up another one. Snipe down picks up a double kill here, and the last player alive is going to be trapped in the cuts. Respawn's coming in that BR base, and that's absolutely fine for Reciprocity. Now they can pressure them. Joey, that's Trippy. He gets the trade, and now the rest of Tox will be spawning around the carbine area.
And Reciprocity is going to be very happy with how this went, because they just had about 12 to 13 points unanswered there. Eventually, Royal 2 gets the better of Snipe down, but we have camo coming up in 30. We also have rail in 14.
Yeah, another momentary triple cap there for Reciprocity, showing that they're rotating across the map well, and great shots there from Pistola and Trippy, and they're going to pick up 2 kills here. That opens up the map, and they can push for this camo.
Yeah, Snakebite's ready for the camo. It's not up for another 15, though, so he might be down here a bit prematurely, and I bet Reciprocity is going to clear out of there as well. Railgun is up, camo in 6.
Saiyan going to be challenging lethal there. Both players decide to back up, just live to fight another day. around this power up. You see Reciprocity now. They're trying to convert the basement, but a triple cap now for Tox. While all of this is going on, they've managed to get away with the camouflage as well. Lethal, he's got animations on. He's drawing some cartoons.
That is probably the first time we've seen an animation all weekend there on the assassination. It's also going to let Snakebite grab this camo as they start to rally back in this game. Looking at the kills, though, Reciprocity is still outslaying 31-26. But here we are, total control for Tox again.
Yeah, they're getting loads of kills, but it doesn't matter. Total control for Tox. But you have to prioritize this objective, Reciprocity. It's costing you games at the moment. Snakebite with the camouflage. Trippy, he's not going to get first shot here. Smart plays, though, from Snakebite, to prioritize those kills. Finally, he gets shut down, though.
It's a great spree from Snakebite there. He's able to string together a bunch of great kills. Just hear that lost the lead, but not just that, still total control. Finally, they stop the bleeding. And Reciprocity going to need to prioritize map control over these next few sequences. It's okay, they lost the lead. They're now down by about 9 points, but it's okay, they can just climb back. About half the game is still yet to play.
Last player alive is in the basement here, and they do manage to take him down. They need to double cap this basement as quickly as possible. You can see players are coming off the respawn here, so with 4 dead, they should know exactly what's happening. And luckily for Pistola, he manages to land that kill onto Lethal.
That's going to let them score once again. Next camo in 48 seconds, and finally, Reciprocity can breathe. They can open up this map. Another big kill, great awareness from Pistola. You do see some red X's, though, so that means he's going to have to wait for those spawners before he gets really aggressive here.
Yeah, now he's got a decision to make. Do you protect the BR base? Do you go for Nest? And he's putting some good shots down with his teammate here, but it means that BR base is going to go straight into the hands of Tox, and Snakebite comes flying out to take down Pistola. Now he has control of the long haul area.
It's such a fast-paced game type. Rail in 10, you just heard it. Camos in 20.
Snakebite then drops into the basement, trying to finish off this kill. Trippy does a good job, though, to stay alive and prolong that death, and he comes back to finish off the kill on Snakebite. Lethal picks up one, though. Trippy now moving in on the fresh railgun. If he can get away with this, there might be a way for them to pick up some easier kills here and turn it into points. But with 72 points on the board here for Tox, they're looking like they could go 3 up in the series if things don't change.
And 2 dead for Reciprocity here. Camo is up.
That's big kills going down here. You can see the camo waiting, and 2 kills going down at this point means that they should be able to pick this up.
I do think we also see Snipe Down, if I'm not mistaken. He's on the other side all the way at Nest, getting the cap as well.
But look at this, Royal 2 and Frosty have both come off spawn. And Lethal has now managed to move in, uncontested on that camo. Maybe a miscommunication. It looked like they were prioritizing that stronghold, but that camo's coming up and you've got 2 dead. Someone has to take that on their shoulders.
Yeah, they certainly took their time in getting that camo, but it may have been because they wanted that pressure around Whitehall and presence there, and now they're going to move in on Nest. So this could end up working out for Tox.
Tox now with the triple kill. Frosty picks up 3 in a row.
There you go.
It's over, Frosty! Do you want to be a snowman, Pistola? Well, you don't have any choice because the railgun is going to turn into an overkill.
It would have made it even more if you had any railgun ammo left there. Total control at the 86-point mark. And Tox really showing us that they knew exactly what they were doing off that break. They wait for the camo, they wait for the rail, they make it count, and now they've got a sizable lead here of 29 points.
Just 10 points to go then for Tox to close out this game and put themselves just 1 game away from sending it to a second best of 7. Pistola, though, wins a big battle. Now they need to make this man advantage count here. They need to push on a stronghold. They need to get aggressive, Rick.
Right here. Thought it was going to be a trade, but Royal 2 even wins that battle. Only 4 points to go here, soon to be 3. Looks like Reciprocity will slow it down. They'll start to score again. This is possible, but they're going to need to play perfect Halo.
Yeah, Frosty just decided to rotate back now. They're going to hold on to what they have here. Frosty should have a 1v1 battle around this base and manages to pick up 1 kill. Now he's just milking, and it doesn't matter because Tox Gaming take your game number 3. 3-0 now in the series. Ooh, Reciprocity, they've got to wake up here.
Not looking good for them. They lose that game, and they also lose it while outslaying Tox. Not what you want to see. Reciprocity in the end outslays them just by 1, 51-50, but still outslaying nonetheless. Really unacceptable when you look at that scoreline of 100-63 outplayed in terms of objective. Really starting at that 40-point mark and
I'd like to go across to the captures here if we can have a look at the stats as well to see, you know, who's jumping in. And you look at strongholds captured, the comparison between the 2 teams. Someone has to jump in these strongholds.
Yep.
It's as simple as that for Reciprocity at the moment. They're getting the kills, they're just not taking advantage of that and turning it into points. It's kind of lazy, to be honest.
And it's really great prioritization that we saw of the power-up of the rail from the side of Tox. Each time really thought like they had the presence there, they had the rotations, and even though they weren't getting all of the kills, they're getting the right kills like you and I talked about earlier in the series.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can see some of the highlights from this last game, and there's going to be a lot of Reciprocity kills in here, but there's going to be a lot of points going in the hands of Tox. Big battles being won here. You can see by Pistola I think it's just a case of communication. Look back at the Splice series earlier in this tournament. The way that they played, the aggression that they showed, that's what they have to bring here. They can't show any fear, but I mean, this overkill here from Frosty, sometimes there's just nothing you can do.
And that is the sign of a veteran. Waits, he knew that thrust was coming, waits for the thrust to happen, then releases the rail. Look at Tox, so strong in these first 3 game types, and I don't think what we saw there on set, we said we need to see Reciprocity control the pace of the game, really dictate how that game flows. That's not what we saw. They really kind of took a back seat. Tox was calling all the shots. Reciprocity had their hand forced throughout the entire game. And here they have one more chance to stay alive in the series. It's going to be oddball on Fissure.
Here we go then. A chance for them to get back into the series. Get your hands around that oddball. Reciprocity, if you want to take this game. Overshield, of course, up bottom middle. That's going to be every 2 minutes. And we play to 150 points here on oddball. So big chance here for the guys to get back into this series. But Tox have also won a lot of games on this particular map and this particular game type. So don't be surprised if we're going to a second best of 7 right here.
And it's easier said than done. But if you are on the Reciprocity side of the stage, you need to remember that you can still win this tournament in this series. They've been outplayed in those first 3 games with some pretty commanding leads on the Tox side. However, Reciprocity needs to play this smart. They need to play confident. They can still win this tournament in these grand finals.
Oh, big shots there from Snakebite. He got the first overshield of the game as well. However, players are going to be falling now for Tox. The ball does get reset top middle. So maybe Reciprocity have a chance of... Oh, after doing absolutely nothing because Lethal is hitting a beautiful 5 onto Saiyan.
Yes, indeed. Hearing now from Wonderboy that overshield was picked up at 51. So look at that. Look for that overshield to the 9:51 mark. And by the way, a huge shout out to our observers here, Wonderboy and Heinz. Fantastic to have them showing us all these angles as the action unfolds all weekend long at DreamHack.
That's going to be 3 dead here for Reciprocity. And look at that, the objective being moved back immediately. That death there from Snakebite isn't going to matter too much because you can see the oddball now gives Royal 2 the chance to potentially engage in a battle and win a battle that could potentially turn into points by getting it back to that side base.
Trippy tries to make something happen there, likely unaware of Royal 2 sitting in the back of that base. Royal 2 was ready for it. Might be 3 kills going here. No, it's actually going to be a trade there. So for a moment, 2 dead for Tox.
Yeah, and it's going to be Trip going up against Snakebite, and Snakebite's going to get taken down there, and they need to turn this into points. Get that ball in your hand. Well done to Reciprocity. That's what you need to be doing right now. Shut down this push, grab that oddball.
Very low scoring opening, as you might notice. We're about to hit the 1.5 minute mark, and only 14 points are on the board so far. Pistola finally getting the first comfortable hold. The next overshield's not too far away. It's coming up in 35 seconds.
Yeah, they have a great setup across the map that you can see from the observers here in this fantastic angle we have. Ola's going to be holding it up by this top landing area, has a teammate supporting for anyone coming across those jump ups, and then they can rotate back and they have the high ground over anyone pushing through the lobby or the tag back. But it doesn't matter at the moment because look at the push coming in from Tox Gaming, and they take out absolutely everybody. Everyone on Reciprocity falls, and the oddball goes into the hands of Tox.
Yep, there was a moment there where there was 4 dead. Saiyan's going to be the last player to spawn, and all 4 are back up. They're going to need to slow down and get on this push here. 5 seconds till next overshield, which might be a push opportunity for Rec.
Snakebite having a lovely time of things at the moment, just holding that oddball in his hands, and the overshield isn't burned there by Lethal, so you can see still up, and it's going to be his teammate Royal 2 who actually pushes in and gets that second overshield. So that's 2 overshields now in a row going into the hands of Tox.
And no surprise then that they also have a pretty good lead here now, finally at the 41-19 mark. This is going to let Royal 2 fall all the way back to his base and make sure that everything is cleared out. Likely going to win this battle. So what you have here is Tox prioritizing that overshield. They're sending numbers in, even though Lethal died with a nice little beautiful pirouette on the overshield stand. Royal 2 is right back there to fall in and close the gap.
Royal 2 just didn't miss a bullet for 3 battles there. Just to highlight how difficult it is to play against that man. 3 different battles, 0 bullets missed. I mean, he's almost taken on an entire team there on his own.
I got real scared there. You don't often hear that magic. Oh boy, Snakebite he gets that magic hands medal. I think it spooked him too. He jumps off the map. You don't always see someone holding the ball for that duration. It's a pretty great hold. They're up 71-20.
It's one man who don't get flustered by a play like that though is PJ. He knows exactly how to bounce back from a little mistake like that. Snipe down. It's going to be in the death screen right now, but let's see what we can do off the respawn here. Tox just picking up so many kills at the moment. They're outsliding their opponents 21-15 at this point, Andy, and it's showing in the scoreline too.
Yep, Frosty really standing out here. He's got 8 kills on the board. No one on the other side, of course, having anywhere near that. His teammate also Snakebite 6-4.
Great finish there on Frosty there from Snakebite. That's down. Great shots again, and now he's challenging, feeling confident, moving on the objective. Someone get it in the hands, and now Great stuff from Reciprocity. This is what I need to see. As soon as they get numbers, go for that objective.
Finally, we see Snipe Down, I think, really pushing up there, and that's the first really sign of life I've seen from Reciprocity in this game since their early lead, where Snipe Down gets those 2 kills and also challenges the third because he knew he had the help, tries to play it, but no, Tox makes sure to grab that and throw it right back into the base.
Yeah, and Snakeboy's having a huge game here at the moment. He's picking up so many important kills, and look at the stats at the moment, just 7 and 5, but it's where he's getting those kills, Andy, as we're getting ready for that next overshield as well.
Yep, just 10 seconds away from this next overshield, and wouldn't be surprised if we saw Tox with some great presence around that OV again, and here we already see Frosty is ready for that overshield.
It's going to be 3 in a row unless Rec win this team fight, and it's going to be Pistola who comes in and picks that one up. You can see the oddball just being moved away from them, and even though they get that power up, Tox making life so much more difficult because they have to think about that objective as well. Taking it away during that battle, just creating distance and allowing respawners to get back on the map.
If you are a Reciprocity fan, you are so happy with how they attacked that third overshield there. They just saw Frosty on the platform, but Reciprocity sends multiple players into bottom middle and it gets them the overshield. Now they're starting to put points on the board again. We need to see Reciprocity be aggressive, be confident, even challenge in situations where you don't necessarily have the advantage and make things happen.
2 players fall, then Snipe Down with the double kill. Snipe Down picks up another kill as well. But look at this. All the kills that Snipe Down's getting, the oddball is in the hands of Tox again. They're rotating, almost got away with it as well, but rotating that ball back to respawn is the secret of Echelon oddball. Even if you're being pressured, you always know a teammate's going to spawn across the map. You can move the oddball while you're taking shots towards them and let them fight for it once again.
It's a great rotate there. You saw Snipe Down able to take down the ball carrier, but due to the fact that the Tox guys had numbers on that ball, they do get to rotate all the way around to the other side of that base. It's a sizable lead.
You're going to see again exactly the same thing from Lethal here. He's just running rings around this map at the moment. He's coming under pressure. He's jumping back into the base, over the jump up, and look at this. He's going to end up in exactly the same spot that he started in, but just on the opposite side of the map.
This is a scary amount of rotating. I mean, this is so frustrating to play against, and it's also the right way to play on ball on a lot of maps throughout the entire Halo franchise. You want to just keep looping this around while the opponents are chasing you and running into resistance as you had your teammates scattered around the map.
Yeah, now you saw Frosty try to push across, clear the way for him, but he didn't win that battle. So no, Lethal recognizing the situation, moving back away from where that player might push, and then he gets a smart play ball. Such fantastic play there from Lethal. Didn't pick up any kills in the meantime, but he's helping his team win the game.
Next overshield here in just about 10 seconds. This could be the game decider when you look at that score, 131 to 48. Only 19 points to go for Tox to close out this game and our first best of 7.
Do you want to know what's frustrating for me? Reciprocity outslaying their opponents once again. They're up by 1 kill, but it's just not turning into points. We see Snipe Down. He's going to get that overshield now. They have 3 alive. 2 kills are going to fall. Snakebite's going to be probably taken down as well here if he gets pushed by Snipe Down, but great escape there from PJ.
I mean, do you think it's possible we see a miracle here from the guys on Reciprocity to win this game and keep this series going?
I mean, we've seen funnier things happen, but they need to step it up a little bit, in my opinion. They need to really start rotating the outball the same way that we're seeing from Tox. They need to take it away from respawners, and a little play like that from Saiyan, winning a battle against Royal 2, could spark these guys into life, making a triple Saiyan. Unfortunately for him, Snipe Down's going to take that one away, but good news here for Rec is that they managed to get that oddball away.
Wisely stays alive, just like you said. I mean, those are the kind of plays we need to see, but in the end, it's a really great stop there. Even though 3 were dead for the side of Tox, the 4th player really denies that hold, which you can't have happen. Reciprocity needs to make sure they're pressuring in those right situations, and unless they get some really special Halo 5 put together here, they're going to have trouble in the next 4 minutes.
2 players have fallen here for Tox, and Trippy now looking for another kill here in the TAC room. O2's going to be no shields. Pistola finishes off that kill, but again, they've just picked up 4 kills back to back. Nobody moving in towards top mid. Finally, Trippy is going to be moving towards top middle, maybe looking for the oddball, but he's decided to push out this plat area because that line of sight is going to be straight onto the oddball.
And this is unfortunate, right? They had that overshield grab. They've had all 4 dead and even 3 dead again, and they've only put 4 points on the board in the past minute. Next overshield's in 30 seconds already, so Tox right now just playing very defensively. Finally, Ola gets that ball grab.
Yeah, Ola gets the ball grab and gets it back to that base, and 53 to 47 in the hands of Reciprocity at the moment as far as slays are concerned. Now we see Saiyan taking this battle with Lethal across to the TAC mag. Another player going to be taken down to no shields. Great shots here from Saiyan, and finally they're picking up some points here. They have a great setup on the map.
This next kill is so important. If Saiyan is the first one to fall, could spell disaster for this setup. But Frosty actually goes down first. A little bit of a trade there with Ola. Next overshot's right now, and Tox is on it.
Yeah, they're absolutely prioritising this. There's 3 players inside bottom mid. Sayan actually manages to get the kill, but he doesn't get the burn because Royal 2 comes in. Where's Sayan gone? He can't find him. Finally, he relocates that reticle towards Sayan and picks up the kill, and then almost fives another player there. But look at the score, Andy. Things are starting to pick up here for Reciprocity. They're getting points on the board, and the overshield has been pretty much melted now.
Yeah, overshield was melted. It's a really great job of Reciprocity to make sure, even though they didn't get the grab, that they still had presence in bottom middle. The ball's going to be played again. You still have Reciprocity outslaying 58-52 right now, and that finally that last hold really gave them a little bit of life. They got 40 points or so from that. If they can do that a few more times, we can see them win this game. They're going to need to play great Halo.
Yeah, but they can't lose another team fight here, and they can't allow Tox to get away, because that will be the game gone. It's Pistola versus Royal 2 bottom middle. Respect shown from Pistola there to back down from that battle. Snipe down coming in to help Pistola with that kill on bottom mid.
Olin knows that the only reason that player's challenging from bottom middle is for that battle he's also fighting. So he's aware that the pressure is going to come from an angle and waiting for it to do so, but the clock is on the side of Tox.
Yes, Snakebite picks up that kill. 2 minutes 30 left on the clock here. Royal 2 manages to get a kill on Saiyan as well. Frosty picks up another. So now you're going to see the opportunity for them to maybe move in on that off-ball. Frosty comes flying across. Great play from Pistola though, but it is going to allow the Tox player again to get away. And it's that man, TJ Campbell, Lethal, who's got it in his hands again.
They waited for the perfect time, and this is it. Only 9 more seconds to go for Tox to close out the first best of 7.
Yeah, this could well be it. You see Lethal trying to move down to the bottom of the lift. Reciprocity though do stop that play ball, but here goes Snakebite. 3 players have fallen now. And Tox have the ball in their hand with Snakebite, and this could well be it. Just run away from that platform, move towards your teammates, and we are going to a second best of 7 here. What other way would we have it? Tox Gaming take the first series 4-0.
Exactly what I was going to say. We've had some epic grand finals in Halo 5, and there's only really one way to end this game's run on the main stage. And of course, we're going to a second best of 7 between these 2 squads, and the snipe down and lethal battle will live to see at least one more series.
Yeah, and I'm looking across at the statistics right now. Big performance coming in from Frosty, as we would expect. 23, 11, and 15. Lethal, interestingly to see here, 7 and 20. However, he did have the oddball in his hands a lot of the time, and we saw how many times he was getting that touch on the oddball to throw it back to his teammates. And again, the plays that don't show up in statistics are the ones that have separated those 2 teams there.
Yeah, Frosty also going 23 and 15 in that game. Yeah, absolutely does help. Going to make it easy for the guys to move around the map. But what an interesting mix that we just saw. We're going to hear more from the guys on the desk, but can't wait to hear the analysis desk breakdown. What we saw, that defensive play for the last 4 minutes of the game there in Oddball Fissure. You don't always see that played that way, but Tox certainly did it very well.
Yeah, rotations were absolutely incredible. And guys on the desk, you've got another segment because we're going to a second best of 7.
We are indeed, gentlemen, and yeah, that was absolutely phenomenal. I just want to say to everybody at home, thank you so much for your patience when the internet went down earlier on. You guys are true fans because you're rejoining us right now, and we are having a blast up here. I mean, Tox looking so dominant. I don't know whether it was a fluke last time with Reciprocity, because this looks like a different team.
Game types are very different as well. They do favour Tox. It was all down to that CTF truth, that opening game, the fact that Tox were able to take that one and then go into their 3 favourable games with a lead, with the momentum. It really helped them in this series.
Now, Elamite, let's have a look at some of these highlights that we just saw from that series, because these guys were really turning up. You know, Frosty, absolutely fantastic, just getting into the swing of things here. But seeing them look like this on Truth, I mean, that's a miracle.
I mean, it really was impressive performance. Tox is clearly warmed up, clearly here to play. They've got one goal on their mind, and that is to win this entire event. And they've been playing out of their mind. Frosty especially, just putting up numbers, just playing like he's the MVP, like he deserves. And it was Reciprocity at the same time just not be able to get their footing here. Once those first 2 games went by, which are the ones I really wanted to see Reciprocity come out and take, to at least send it to a game 6, game 7, around that. As soon as those went by, I mean, it was not looking good. Even if they were able to take some of these games, I don't think this series was the one for them. But like we saw in the winner's bracket, they do have the ability to lose a few games, reset, and come out and win again.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Frosty going off in that Sank Slayer, but it really speaks to me that Lethal's having the best tournament I've seen him have in a long time. I mean, he is playing lights out Halo, and he's doing it all. He's playing the objective. When he picks up the snipe, he's going on killing sprees. He's hitting amazing shots, and when someone like Lethal on your team is doing that, and you have the Royal 2s and the Frosties to lean back on, I mean, Tox is almost unstoppable when Lethal's playing this good.
Most definitely. Now, Gaskin, you are the man with the plan. You have the stat book here. What was it looking like for Reciprocity out there? I know you said that the series layout wasn't looking too good for them. But, you know, really down to it, you need to be good at everything to be up there and battling it out with some of the best teams in the world. Really, what was their downfall going into that series?
They weren't bad game types for Reciprocity. I don't think either team had less than a 50% win rate on any of those game types. But the problem was Tox were just playing extremely well. You heard Bravo talking about it. They were kind of going for some defensive plays, maybe where you wouldn't expect that in some situations, some scenarios. Fisher Oddball is a spectacle when Tox are playing it. And I wouldn't expect Tox to be that good at it, because it is one of those newer game types that originally they weren't really practicing. But they seem to have come to their own. They've come into this event and said, look, we know what we need to focus on. It's some of these newer things that we were struggling with in the past. And it paid off. They played phenomenally.
Well, let's take a look at the series layout right now for our next best of 7 to see what these gents are going to have to play with. So we've got Stronghold on Empire, Slayer on the Rig, Oddball on Echelon, Capture the Flag on Coliseum, Slayer on Plaza, Stronghold on Eden, and Slayer on Truth. Now, to be honest, I think Tox Gaming were playing very, very smart, and it's just whether or not they can continue that throughout the next series. And it's always the story, isn't it? You know, you win 4-0, but the next series is always completely different. I've seen teams come and fall and win and lose, and it's just one of those things where it's a complete and utter reset now. Gentlemen, with this reset happening, I want your predictions for this next series. Elamite.
You know, Tox is looking unstoppable, and I mean, it's just like a clear storyline for them to come out and take this. But, you know, I'm sticking with Reciprocity. I went with them at first. I think they can reset and take it, but yeah, it is scary.
I felt you swaying then for a second. I was like, well, we might go with Tox. No, you're sticking to your guns. Okay, Clutch, what about you?
Seen it 100 times, Lottie.
That's just why.
Tox is going to win 4-0. They're going to end their Halo 5 reign on their best game type. It's Capture the Flag on Coliseum. They're going to put on a show. It's probably going to be a 5-minute game. 4-0 Tox. Let's celebrate.
Okay, and Gaskin.
The stats agree with Clutch for once. No one wants to agree with Clutch, but I think I have to. It's going to come down to that game 3, Oddball Echelon. If we can see Reciprocity take that one, maybe that's their chance back into the series, but I have to go with Tox here.
I didn't say it, he did, just letting you know. I'm also going to go with Tox Gaming. I think they are a phenomenal team, and I just want to see them close this grand final out. Well, gentlemen, it's about time we hand over to the casters with the most angelic voices in the business. Of course, these guys are just one of the best duos that we have in Halo right now. It's Onset and Bravo.
All right then, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Second best of 7 time between these two teams. Tox Gaming taking on Reciprocity. Whatever just happened there, forget about it. It's all about these next 7 games, these potential next 7 games, we should say. And welcome along to everyone watching the stream as well, Andy.
Oh, it's been such a great series so far. I think we've come to expect the likes of Tox, Splice, etc., to really make whichever team has been in our grand finals, that they've had these 4-0 runs. But as we learned in London, it's not over just because we saw Tox 4-0 just now, as we just saw Tox get 4-0'd in London, and then they win their own series 4-0. Anything can happen here, and like we said earlier, that's what the guys in Reciprocity need to realize, is that they have everything to play for here. The final Halo 5 event, only 4 games to go for either team.
Look, just leave it all out there. It's as simple as that. Leave it all out there. Go home with no regrets about what has just happened on the main stage. If you come into this last best of 7, you give it everything, and you know that you just gave it everything. At least you can go home happy. Send this to a final game 7. Send this to the maximum distance that you can. Reciprocity, it's time to go right now.
And I like what I'm seeing here. You look at this excitement. Look at the intensity on the faces of Ola right on Snipe Down. These guys are smiling. These guys are ready to play. This is how they need to feel. Here we are, game number 1 of our second best of 7 Strongholds on Empire. It's Tox versus Reciprocity for the final Halo 5 title.
And all of the Rec fans in the crowd, I want to hear you get behind your boys right now. All the Tox fans in the crowd, I want to hear you get behind everyone as well. Snipe Down is who we're going to start this one off with, pushing across top middle.
Great early nade there from him. Ola is there to finish. We could see 2 early kills here.
Great start for Rec.
Yeah, great start for them. That overshield's still up.
Last player alive is going to be on the turbine. He gets taken down, sniped down. Steiner comes to life here. The overshield goes into the hands of Reg.
Really great start here. We actually have a 4-0 swing. The first 4 kills going to Reciprocity. Also getting a few bases here, and they're going to be scoring with that overshield in hand as well.
Yeah, Lethal's going to be pinned back in the base here, so you can see Snipedown's just trying to hunt him down, gets the beat down, gets the kill, and this is a great start here, but no, Royal 2 is going to crush some dreams.
Ola still has camo, by the way. He did grab that, as we saw earlier, right around the 49 mark, trying to make something happen with that. He still has a tiny bit of camo left that he can do some damage at tower.
Royal 2 then. Going to be set up here, just looking to locate any targets, do a little bit of damage, and he's spotted out 2 players, but it's a sneaky player in the alley here, and it's up to the guys on Reciprocity maybe to listen to that call out and get the trade, and it's going to be difficult, but great use of the glamour ability to just delay that death, and he almost got the beatdown out as well.
Royal 2 getting so tricky there, so difficult to kill a player who's just popping right back up and forth with that clamber. See now a nice, comfortable lead here for Reciprocity. They can take a moment to get control back. They don't need to panic at this point in the game.
Yeah, and a big reset on the pit there as well. You can see, you know, Tox split their resources. They kind of distracted with using that bottom middle stronghold to make sure that they got one of the side bases here. And Royal 2 going to be coming up in a battle against 2 players on the turbine there. Manages to back one down and come back with his life. And look at this, he's going to just 5 staying off of that window.
Those are some mean shots that he just laid down. As you might expect at this early point in the game, we do have the camouflage and the overshield within about 5 seconds of each other. Camo is 30 seconds from now, overshield in 35 seconds.
Yeah, it looks like 2 guys from Tox are making a push onto this camouflage here. So they're prioritizing that particular power-up, and it's going to be a battle here, and somehow this player stays alive. The longer he stays alive, the more frustrating that's going to be for these Tox gaming players, and Lethal's going to be taken down as well. Not sure where the power-ups have been dished out.
4 dead for Tox. 4 dead for Tox. Is there any surprise that it was Ola there in the tower that was so difficult to kill? Overshield in about 10 seconds. Camo's 5 seconds behind.
Well, Sayan's moving outside now, and all the respawners here from Tox, luckily for them, will be outside, but a trade there from Sayan might create some space for a teammate to come in and snipe down. He's going to have a 1v1 battle outside, wins that, and that should be the overshield going into their hands if they can maybe just do something magical. Speaking of magic, and there is that man who produces it.
So overshield is still up, taking a look at who is in position to go for that grab. Several players now pushing outside, Lethal as well as Ola there.
Yeah, and I like what Sayan's doing here. He's pushing forward, allowing maybe a teammate to move in. It's actually Trippy who has control of the camouflage here. So they have one of the power-ups. Not sure if anyone still managed to get that overshield.
Yeah, Snipedown got the burn at 31. Snipedown got that overshield burn. Trippy, though, with the camo, that's the only power-up in play.
37-10 then. However, Tox Gaming, whether they didn't get the power-ups, are scoring now. This is where Reciprocity need to prioritize their objective a little bit. Make sure they get that reset. However, Snakebite with a big kill there. Going to be cleaned up. Good rotations back here, but again, now they're going to get pressurized. Royal 2 with a great grenade to take down Trippy. And look at this, Royal 2 again putting pressure on another player.
Royal 2, that pre-nade into the base. That's really devastating for Trippy, who did have that camo, like we said. Reciprocity still leading by a good margin here, but Tox really making sure to apply the pressure. Even though they're down by a bit, they're still scoring.
And this is where Tox are so good. As soon as they get a numbers advantage, you know that it's going to turn into points or at least a couple more kills going. And look at this. Lethal picking up kills in the feed. Royal 2 just waiting for anyone to dare challenge him in this blue base. And he's going to have a battle here. Lands the beatdown and gets the trade. And that's absolutely fine because that means that stronghold is going to be contested and maybe turned over, but they have got the other side base.
Yep, trip cap for just a second there for the side of Tox. Going to be racking the points real fast, but Reciprocity makes sure to jump on blue right away. And right now, the overshield and the camo ended up pretty darn close. Now they're only about 3 seconds apart from one another. Both of those will be popping in 35. Now both teams tied.
Yeah, and here you see Tox taking the lead. Going a few points into the lead. They have kills on their side as well. Currently 3v3 situation on the map. As these power-ups are about to come up in the next 10 to 15 seconds. Lethal rotating back, gets the reset on this red base as well, and now he's going to be in a position to potentially finish off this kill as well. Great shot there from Lethal to take down Pistola.
That great help as well. We continue to see it from both these teams. When they're on fire, the teamwork is out of control. You saw Lethal there in a little bit of a challenging battle when he's fighting right outside, but a teammate comes in help, a nade comes in, and it really lets them now push outside for this control. Overshield popping right now.
Yeah, Lethal challenging there, allowing Snakebite to come in and pick up that overshield again. A death for Lethal, but for the greater good. Allows his teammate to get this overshield. Now they're pushing in on this triple cap. This is dangerous for Reciprocity.
Off screen, Frosty gets the camo as well, so Tox with full power-up control as well as map control at this moment. That right now, all they need to do is play this slowly and they'll maintain control, maybe push for the trip.
Yeah, they're looking for that triple cap, but now Frosty recognizes the situation, doesn't go and challenge that triple cap. Just hold the map. It's as simple as that. Help out a teammate. Make sure if anyone tries to convert that bottom mid stronghold that you're there to delay that stronghold getting captured. Maybe pick up a kill, and that's exactly what he's doing.
62-37 now. It feels like moments ago this game was tied right around the 20-point mark, and my oh my, how things have changed. And I got bad news for you on set. At this moment, Reciprocity is still outslaying Tox, and Tox still playing the objective. We're picking up, unfortunately for Reciprocity, right where we left off.
Yeah, they managed to exchange side bases here, and Frosty comes behind, snipe down. Trippy picks up kill, Sayan picks up a kill as well, but it's just 2 for 2 trades at the moment, and Frosty unfortunately doesn't get the finish on that player bottom mid, and the conversion now comes in for Reciprocity.
And it took a while. They're finally scoring once again, but it's a big run on the side of Tox as they're up 70-41 at this moment.
And look how hard Reciprocity had to work to get hold of this bottom mid stronghold. They put so many resources into it, and now Tox Gaming pick up a couple of kills, and they just take it back like taking candy from a baby.
Tox is really playing this one step faster than Reciprocity. They've been doing it since that 30-point mark and not really showing any signs of slowing. Both the camo and the overshield still really tight within one another right now, coming up in about 25 seconds.
Trippy picks up a kill here. Reciprocity managed to convert the bottom mid stronghold, and that's a big reset coming in. Hit from snipe down, but when you're 5-in snipe down like that and winning a battle in a 1v1, it doesn't matter. That's going to mean that the stronghold will be converted once again.
That's a killing spree for Snakebite. He also leads his team and the game in kills. He's 13-9.
Power-up's going to be popping pretty soon as well, and we saw both of them go into the hands of Tox last time, that they were up on the map. Snakebite moved him through the turbine, drops down a plasma grenade to just cut off that line of entry. Now he's going to be flying towards that overshield, and they get the burn as well.
What a burn. You saw that they had multiple guns on Pistola. If they didn't have the team shot on Pistola, there's a very good chance that he would have come away with that overshield and won that battle outside. Frosty also on the other side, picking up the camo. I tell you what, I've never seen these power-ups so tight within one another. They are now within the exact second at this late point in the game. Really great power-up management from both sides.
15 points then to go. Sorry, 25 points there to go. Maps has never been my strong point for Tox Gaming to take this first game in our second best of 7. Reciprocity, though, they're doing a good job of keeping this one close, and now you're going to see potentially a triple cap come in. It looks like Sayan has recognized this situation, though, and they're going to once again exchange these side bases.
Yep, there's a little bit of a trade there. Only a total control for just 1 second, as you see, like you said, onset a base trade in that scenario. We have to say Reciprocity is staying in. It's a big double for Pistola. They're only down here, by 24 points. They can rally back. This is not over yet.
Yeah, they need to prioritize this pit stronghold, though. You can see there's another player who's going to be trying to delay it. A little bit of a whip beat down, but the second left cross it lands here for Sayan, and he manages to pick up another kill, but do they get the conversion? Yes, they do on bottom mid.
And
Snipe down is on a little bit of a tear bottom mid at the moment. He's looking angry, and he looks like he wants to win this game here for Rank.
Oh, Snipe down falls. It's going to go back. The 3 were dead in that scenario. It's a huge play from Snakebite. One of the only players alive on his team in that moment. And he's able to get that conversion on bottom middle to continue scoring. Look at it now, only 5 points to go for Tox.
Last chance here for Reciprocity, and with the power-ups going up as well, it's going to be so tough for them. First kill in the team fight. Surprise, surprise, it's Frosty who wins it. Sayan answers back with one of his own. Lethal gets the second one, and with just a couple of points left on the board, Frosty flies across the map, and Tox Gaming are going to take the first game here, I believe, in your second best of 7. That is 5 back-to-back map wins now for Tox. They're on fire, Andy. They are absolutely on fire.
And for good reason. They're looking to really cement their name in the history books as the top Halo 5 team. Of course, back-to-back world champions. They lost this year's world championship at this event. Not only a huge cash prize pool here, the largest open prize pool we've had for Halo 5, but also the last event. And like we talked about earlier today, people are going to remember this event for many years to come. And Tox wants to be the team that is remembered.
Absolutely, and if you're just wondering where the players are going, just a very quick toilet break for the players to, they've been on stage for a long time.
It has been a long time.
Makes it cool sometimes, doesn't it? And they'll be back as soon as possible. But looking at the stats across the board here, I mean, Frosty, it's almost like you can predict you're about to say Frosty at the end of any game that Tox win. Huge performance from him once again, but Snakebite, the standout MVP for me. Look at the strongholds captured. He went positive, he was doing damage, and again, it's where he picked up those kills on the map and how important they were in certain situations.
And in the end, you did have the guys there on Tox outslaying 58-54 was the final tally. Reciprocity really with some great slaying numbers on the board once again, but it's a little bit of too much of the same story that we've seen from Reciprocity in these objective game types. They're getting the kills on the board, but not at the right time and not in the right place. It's been a fantastic grand final so far, but I would be lying if I didn't say it was a one-sided final so far. Of course, Tox looking so strong, yet to drop a game here, and you can bet that if Clutch put any money on this series, by the way, there's a very good chance that he did.
He's a gambling man.
Yes, he certainly is a betting man, but you know he bets on his boys on Tox. Of course, having coached these guys in history, he knows how talented they are, and he has been betting on them the entire tournament. And right now, They are not showing any signs of weakness. It's a best of 7, and it could be the same thing here. Reciprocity, once again, with a great chance ahead of them. All they need to do is win 4 games, but it's not going to be easy with the way the Tox is playing.
Yeah, if we could keep this series layout up on the screen for just a moment so we can break it down a little bit. Let's look ahead of what we got to come. Slay out on the rig. I mean, we look back at the Strongholds game, and Reciprocity did outslay Tox on that one. However, obviously Slayer plays a little bit differently, but at least they don't have that objective to worry about so much, to try and prioritize. They can do what they've done well so far in the series here. Then if they win that one, we go on to oddball on the echelon. And that is, you know, you heard Wes talking about it, Clutch on the desk saying, you know, when you have 2 very good teams going up against each other, it can be a little bit of a coin flip game, Tom.
I think these next 2 are a coin flip. I think Slayer on the rig, don't get me wrong, I mean, Tox on the rig is really dangerous, but I think it's a Slayer, nonetheless, it's a game 2 Slayer. So I think these next 2 are coin flips. I think playing CTF on Kali against Tox is going to be very difficult. If I had to bet, that's going to go to a Tox way. I think these next 2 are coin flips. If we could see the guys on Reciprocity take those, they will send the series the distance. If they lose either of those, it's going to be very difficult for them.
That's a lovely dance move that you didn't unfortunately see on camera there, Andy. But
well,
you know,
we're lucky.
Just raise that to everyone at home. But it's interesting to see, isn't it? Because this is, I feel like this is the series here for Reciprocity. If they don't win this next game, I really feel like you can say to your teammates, "Come on, we've got this" and everything. But it's the belief, isn't it? It's the belief that you can send it to another game, you can take another game, because the way that Tox are playing is so aggressive, is so efficient. That if they don't win a game now, that'll be 6 back-to-back losses in a row for Reciprocity. And I don't think there's anyone out there who can not be affected by that.
Absolutely not. I mean, the guys on Reciprocity right now, what they need to do is they need to mentally reset. And I think they've been probably trying to do that after every single game they've lost now, which, as you pointed out, is 6 straight. As you take a look at the Reciprocity roster on your screen, not only do they have these 4 talented players here, Snipe Down, Stan, Trippy, and Ola, but of course coached by the greatest player of all time, Ogre 2, who's bringing a lot to this roster, but we haven't seen enough from this team. Like we talked about, this team was assembled for one reason, to be the teams that can take down Tox and Splice. Here they are finally with their first Grand Finals appearance, guaranteeing them a top 2, but we have not seen the energy and really the strength that we need from this roster in these Grand Finals. But there's a lot yet to play for. They're only down 1-0 in a second best of 7.
That's the thing. If we look at where we are now in the series, in the grand scheme of things, it's 1-0 to Tox. It's one game. I mean, the first best of 7 is completely irrelevant at this point.
And let's not forget,
1-0. It's one game.
Let's not forget, this team has already been up 3-0 over Tox earlier today. They were able to win 3 games straight. In the end, they closed it out in a very tight game 7. Tox looking so strong, but Reciprocity has already beat Tox today in a single series, and they certainly can do it here again. And what a story it would be for them. But Tox wants to make sure that's not the case. They want to go out as the kings of Halo 5.
Yeah, and I think it would be, you know, how a lot of people would want to send out Halo 5, to be honest with you, apart from the Reciprocity fans, of course. But these guys, I mean, if you come top 2 at every single event in Halo 5 history, then you have every right to win the last event, and they're going to be looking to do exactly that. And you can see Lethal at the moment on screen, looking pretty chilled out like he normally does. He doesn't get flustered by anything. He's just thinking, you know, just get on with this next game. I want to get into this one and, you know, help my teammates do what they do best. And it's a tough situation to be in for Reciprocity at the moment, knowing the history that Tox Gaming have, the fact that they have been in every single Grand Finals. You know how hard you have to work to take a game off them. But I think they just have to take a step back from the situation and what's happened in the last hour or so, and just, as I say, it's 1-0. That's all it is right now, 1-0.
Big difference for me is we really haven't seen anyone on the Reciprocity side really step up with these risky plays like you and I talked about before the first best of 7. Reciprocity needs to not just play standard textbook Halo 5 across these maps. They're going to need to surprise Tox. They're going to need to make sure that they're collapsing really quick, catching them off guard on spawn. Every time we look at the stats, we're very rarely pointing out any performances that we're seeing from the guys on the Reciprocity side. And with names like Pistola and Snipe Down, and then also these newer blood, Trippy and Saiyan, you expect to see big numbers from them. We haven't seen it yet. Here's their opportunity to turn it around.
Here we go then. Game number 2 in our second best of 7 is loading up. Slayer on the rig. The scatter shot, of course, going to be so useful in those close range battles. The sniper rifle going to be super useful as well in the long range battles, and the camouflage is where a lot of these games are won and lost. And the power-ups have been a big story so far in this series, especially in that last game we saw, Andy.
Yep, all eyes on Camo here to see exactly where that might fall. We saw a very interesting and highly contested opening rush from both of these 2 earlier on when we saw some appearances on the rig.
Yeah, and it's going to be Snakebite who's going to come in after some fantastic work from Lethal there, playing, as I say, that bouncer, the nightclub bouncer, just making sure that he can get his teammate in the door and pick up that camouflage. Now Snakebite going to be rotating back smartly, doesn't want to overextend with this this power up, and Frosty's managed to get away with the sniper rifle here. Perfect start here for Tox.
Yep, look at Frosty checking his back, checking everything back. Bunker gonna grab those plasmas as well, and they get the sniper rifle and the camo, and they slow things down right away. They're playing such disciplined Halo, even though they've just won 6 games straight. Sure, they could be more aggressive and they could push, but right now they're facing against another disciplined side. It's gonna be the guys on Reciprocity who do not want to give up any kills to the camo or the sniper.
I mean, last time we were on this map, we said it was, you know, nearly a minute or so till the first kill went down. It's nearly a minute or so before the first 4 kills have gone down in this one, and it's almost a clean sweep. It is a clean sweep here from Tox Gaming. They take 4 down. Pistola managed to get a trade in all of that, but Frosty's just set up here. He's just looking for respawners. He's very much on the hunt.
5-1 here. In a few moments, gonna want to go into a listen-in with these guys on Tox. We'll get that ready. It sounds like we do have that ready right now with such a commanding lead and such a dominant performance here. I want to hear the guys on Tox. Let's go into an Astro listen-in.
I got one. Barrels, one hit. Barrels, last guy, he's BR plat. I had him twice. They could spawn BR.
So he's one hit.
Yeah, they spawn BR, One hit
I don't see him.
Yeah, bunker guys, there's like 3 bunker, like an SMGH thing.
There's a 3 on that. 3 where? They have scatter. After this is YouTube. There are 2.
I'm here, I'm on.
All over engine.
Yeah, this guy's got scatter on me, fuck.
It's like all good. It's like 1 or 2 bullets, absolute.
Absolute, I'm at 2 there. One's going
SMG.
SMG. Yeah, gonna be SMG and like, bottom SMG.
I'm getting shot. Nice. Underpass to BR plat.
Yeah, BR plat, I shot BR plat.
Yo, Myco cuts to BR. Slow this down. Came out with time, came out. 42 red. One barrels, one snipe spawn. Nice. I was scatter, I think. Okay, what are we doing for camo 42? I'm gonna push your invest for TJ. What are we doing for camo 42? The guy wide off, there's the guy wide off. Who is getting camo 42?
Jump basement order? Absolute basement order.
Camo's up, guys. Camo's up. Top side choke jump.
On it.
Wait, there's a guy overlooked. He's top side with it. He's gonna get away. There's a guy wide off, BJ, on you. You want cuts? Yeah, I'm trying not to run. You want cuts? You're gonna go barrel? Wide on. You have 30 seconds to do snipe. I'm going under nest. Alright. Stay catwalk.
Okay.
But you can push up
He's white hole trying to kill me.
I'm literally just gonna hide under nest. Okay, snipe down's camo guy. Matt, you and I should just leave Brad and look like barrels. Acid bomb row.
Okay, white corner? I spawn. They might be trying to
push engine. Base it. Yo, snipe all. Top side.
Yeah, engine on me. I'm gonna die. Absolute top engine, bro.
I'm hiding under nest. Snipe at 5. Okay, I'm hiding under nest. Where's that guy going? Okay, snipes. What's your drop, guys?
Guy, top engine right now, bro.
Okay, push it top engine.
Fantastic communication, as we would expect from one of the greatest teams in Halo history. Snipe down with a great shot there to finish off, but Royal 2 with a double kill here is also going to pick himself up a sniper rifle. But the thing that impressed me most there, Andy, is the way that Tox Gaming were talking to each other, calling out those names.
I couldn't agree more. The communication style, the way that they talk, the things that they say. Anyone who has played Halo at a competitive level can really appreciate what we just heard during that listening.
Oh my word, Royal 2. That's absolutely disgusting way to put Saiyan into the respawn screen. 19-15 the score, just a couple of kills between the 2 teams, but big plays like that can open up leads.
Absolutely. Talking back about the communication style that we heard. I mean, you heard things like Royal 1 saying, what are we doing for camo at 42? What are we doing for camo at 42? And you let your team really talk about it. Frosty's saying things like, I'm just going to sit here bottom nest, right? Very specific tactical conversations that are happening as they're now up 21-16. But man, fantastic stuff from Tox. I want to thank everyone for joining us online for this stream and in the room in Atlanta. Been an amazing event here at DreamHack. Also, I know we've had some love tuning into the stream. We had Ninja tweeting out the stream earlier, so great to have you joining us on this Sunday evening for Championship Sunday.
This is exactly how Royal 2 wants to be playing this game right now. His teammates are moving around the map, forcing Reciprocity members into his crosshairs, and he is not missing at the moment. Doing everything you would expect from one of the best players in Halo 5, especially one of the best snipers in Halo 5. And Royal 2 now with an easy finish here onto Snipe down. Trippy's going to be toast as well, and Royal 2 might pick up a triple clear here, but these teammates come in. Snakebite and Lethal pick him up. Clean sweep across the board, 28-16. Tox Gaming are just so damn good at this map.
Wonderboy pointing out there that we did see a camo burn from Sayan, which is going to help a little bit, but if I'm honest, not a lot, because
Oh, look at Frosty. Oh, the pink needles of death. Oh, if you wanted a celebration, if you wanted to see Halo 5 at its best, just watch some Frosty gameplay.
It's been a long time since we've seen some needler showmanship that's coming out of Frosty at an amazing time here at our final Halo 5 event. Royal 2, by the way, he's 11-4 at this point. Frosty 7-3, lowest deaths in the game.
Back out then for Royal 2. And the one thing that's really jumped out to me, Andy, that's been so difficult for Reciprocity with the aggression that Tox have been playing with. How many times have we seen these staggered spawns across the map from them? They're fighting 2v4 battles pretty much the entire time that they're actually alive.
By the way, that is a killing frenzy we just heard from Royal 2. 13 kills, 5 assists, and 4 deaths to his name right now, and they are making this look too easy. This does not look like a Grand Finals rig slayer, 35-22 at this point, and they're really running away with it. Tox can play so comfortably, they can just take chances at this point.
They can, but this map can also turn around very quickly. It's kind of a snowballing map. If you get control of sniper rifle, camo, and scattershot, you can very much find your way back into this. Reciprocity mentality needs to be strong here. They need to remember that they can get back into this one. It's just a case of conserving some deaths and making big plays around this next set of weapons.
And the next, yeah, exactly. You have a sniper popping up right now off screen. Also, camo is going to be up in 20 seconds. So this really is their opportunity to keep this close. Only 14 kills to go for the guys on Tox, and it's really a big hill to climb for Reciprocity. But like you said, they can use these drops to get back in this match. Lots of time on the clock, 5:44.
See that sniper rifle rotating then. It's going to be Snakebite who manages to get in and pick it up almost uncontested here, and he's smartly wasting the ammo as well. If he can get away around this corner and not die, that would be massive. And look at this, such huge veteran plays. Gets the help from Royal 2. Decides to not throw the sniper rifle off because he trusted in Royal 2 for that much that he knew he could re-challenge that battle. I mean, these two have been together for such a long time, and that is exactly why.
10 kills separating these two at this point. Ola does have that camo, and he's got 75% left of it. If he's able to use this wisely, could start to mount the comeback for his team, but Snakebite still hitting headshots there as Snakebite now. As you take a look off screen, he's still sitting in basement.
That's going to be so frustrating for Reciprocity. They get camo. You can see Saiyan has the scatter shot as well, and what happened to the first kill of the game? Snakebite just ripped someone's face off. Finally, he's going to be taken down by Pistola now. You see the push starting to come in from Reciprocity here as well. Pistola trying to get into position to finish off these 2 kills. They have them trapped here on the carbine. Same with another kill. Last player alive is somewhere around the basement. Clean sweep here for Reciprocity. They're very much back in this game.
Look at this now, bringing it down to 7. They're climbing back in this, and Onset, you called it perfectly. This map, if you have the right tools, you can really start to come back in the game. Ola desperately wants to hold on to that sniper rifle and also hold on to this series.
One thing that Reciprocity weren't able to do, though, is catch any respawners here from Tox, and that's allowed them to push up the map a little bit, get into positions which make them much harder kills. And Pistola, look at the pressure he's coming over. He only has 1 bullet to work with now. 7 kills the difference between these two teams. The next round of kills is huge.
Got a lot of time before this next camo, so now 2 kills go by the way of Reciprocity. That's a great no-scope there.
The 2 stays alive, though. Trippy comes in and finishes it off, and now look at the score. Bottom right-hand side of your screen. Reciprocity are very much not done here.
Not at all. 6 kills to go. Could be a very long last stretch here. Next camo is going to be big and could be a deciding factor if it's the go-ahead points for the guys on Tox, or a comeback for Reciprocity. Big shots from Ola. Next camo, 12 seconds.
5 kills the difference between these 2 teams. This next camo is absolutely vital for Reciprocity, not just to get the burn on, but they need to get it in their hands. And Snakebite is going to come around the corner with a scatter shot. I wondered where he went, and that is exactly where he was, waiting for Pistola to poke around the corner. And look at the push coming in here, and it's going to be Snakebite with that camo grab here in the basement, 44-35. This could very much be another game going to Tox.
And that was not an easy grab for Tox. They made it look easy, but the pressure that was applied so that Snakebite could come in there and scoop up that camo was fantastic. Team shotting. Now they're only 4 kills away with a 9-kill lead.
Yeah, this is pretty much done, to be honest, unless there's a massive mistake on the side of Tox Gaming. And I don't think I've seen one in this entire grand finals that we've had so far. New sniper rifle about to pop as well.
Oh, look at that little combat evolve. That might have been even played off the map, if I'm not mistaken. Couldn't tell exactly from that camera angle. It's a 7-kill game, but only 3 to go for Tox.
Now they have the opportunity to stagger spawns, though, Rick. They need to be aggressive on these last 2 kills. Pistola, obviously trying to conserve deaths at the same time. It's such a difficult position to be in. And Royal 2 is making it even more difficult with a strong, big challenge there onto Pistola up in the tower. 49 kills then. Trippy manages to get one. Still 1 more kill to find here for Tox Gaming. Frosty with a grenade. Doesn't find any hit markers with it, so gonna have to re-engage some battles here. And there's a player trapped in white corner here. Here comes Snakebite. Can he take down? Oh, wow, what a way to win things. Saiyan gets taken down by Snakebite, 50-42. And in your second best of 7 here, Tox Gaming are now 2 games away from being your final ever Halo 5 champions.
Royal 2 goes 18-9. Wow. Leads the game in kills. Tied for least deaths as well. What a big performance from him.
Yeah, Snipe down again, 7 and 12 on the other side of things. A quiet performance from him. 2-0 then. What do you say? What do you say right now? This is why these guys are so damn good. Tox Gaming had a bit of a worry earlier. Obviously fell down into the losers bracket, but they've roared back here and they've shown why they are one of the greatest Halo teams of all time, and it's their performance, it's been their execution, it's been their decision-making, the individual skill. That it's just been almost perfect Halo in this grand final.
It really has.
It's been insane.
Yeah, it really has, and my oh my, have they ever overwhelmed the side of Reciprocity. You heard Snipe Down in his video earlier today saying that if they were to get to the finals, that he was 100% confident they would win this tournament, and it has been a very different series of events. Look at that. I mean, Frosty just sitting there hitting these no-scopes. It's been a dominating performance. That's all you can say from the side of Tox. They've had such strong runs throughout all of Halo 5, but they have really saved their best performance for last.
Yeah, very much so. They're looking to end the way that they wanted to start, and let's just take ourselves back to that. I mean, having flashbacks, I'm sure Dave Walsh was reminiscing about that.
He was. T-Squared's in the building, too.
T-Squared was probably reminiscing about it as well, but not from the angle he would have wanted to.
Exactly, and here now, take a look. History repeating itself so far through our second best of 7 talks with big leads there in our first 2 games, not really making it too close at all. And what a way to end it also for talks on a team shot on that last kill, right? We're seeing such strong performance from them. T-Squared comes over to the casting booth and
apparently if you shout Needler, T-Squared appears. So that's what we've learned. And
he shakes his
making
fist
some gestures, shall we say, towards us right now.
Some gestures indeed.
It wasn't a wave.
Great to have T-Squared in the building with us, cats, and some Halo 3 earlier, but we thank you once again for tuning in today. Our best of 5, our second best of 5, and best of 7 in our Halo 5 Grand Finals, the last one you will ever see at DreamHack Atlanta. Only 2 games to go for Tox here on set.
Yeah, 2 games to go for Tox, but Reciprocity, now is your time. It's now or never, in my opinion. Echelon ball the next game. Pistola, who's going to be starting this one off with one of the legends of the game, and a strong start here for Reciprocity. Lethal might be taken down here as well, and that's a 3 dead. Royal 2 last player alive here, and they have the oddball, and they have the camouflage. This is what they needed.
Exactly, so here is the start that we wanted to see from Reciprocity, and we need to see not just them scraping by or trading kills throughout the rest of the games in this series. They need to start to take control, because if I'm honest, we haven't seen them do that once through this series, really. There's been moments where they had minor leads, but we need to see them really come into this game type with the force, get back into the series.
And what a push is coming here from Tox. They got 4 dead. They had oddball, they had perfect setup here, Reciprocity. 4 players just fell. They had camo, and I don't know how that happens, to be honest with you. That shouldn't happen. I think they had the rocket launcher at the start, which got the first kill here, Tox, but they have the oddball. They go into the lead now.
Snake by grabbing a few extra seconds by putting that ball into a play position for when he falls, but it's a great team shot from the likes of Snipe Down and Trippy there, so that's what you want to see. It's a double kill. That's 2 dead for them. This is going to give them a chance to bring the ball to the back of the base and establish control. Now what they need to do here on set, make sure you're picking up these first kills. Do not give those up.
Sayan does so. Frosty manages to trade it out, but a perfect 5 there is going to mean that it gives time for Trippy to now rotate towards where respawners might be. He needs to pick up this kill on the play up. The top deck area, the top of the lift. Great rotations here from Trippy, though. Going to push in on Royal 2, gets the beat down. Trippy starting to come to life a little bit here.
Those are the moments and the plays that we need to see.
Oh, Trippy!
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Finally, we are seeing Reciprocity come to life. That was twice there where Trippy pushed a disadvantage and is able to pick up the kills.
Exactly. Taking risks is what they need to do at this point. It hasn't been working not taking risks to this point.
Right.
But leave it all out there, boys.
They need to be playing differently, and like we said, taking those chances that they have not been. They're such a talented team. They're in the grand finals for a reason. And finally, you see when Trippy starts to get creative and push with that ball, now they've given themselves a nice little lead here.
Yeah, 40-point lead here for the guys on Reciprocity. Snakebite picks up the first kill on the team fight now. Trippy still looking around, and that camouflage is going to be coming up pretty soon, and Snakebite has already managed to get the rockets in his hand. 3 players fall. Snipe Down's going to be in all sorts of trouble here, but a great shot there on Lethal is going to take at least 1 player out as we see Snakebite picking up the camo.
That's right. Finally, Snipe Down will fall, but not before it's getting a kill there. Not sure how much of a difference it'll make. It will make a big difference because Ola, as a result, picks up the kill on camo and rockets. All of that was only possible because of Snipe Down's kill there earlier at bottom pizza. To pick up that kill really paved the way for them to push the pressure. However, Tox still scoring.
Yeah, Tox with this ball around the pizza as well, and they hold it here so well. You can see they'll use the elevation of the map, the 2 different levels of the map to jump up and down and think about where respawners are, and it's such a smart strategy, to be honest with you. Players are pushing across top middle. You can drop down, you can rotate below them, or you can move towards that Pelican or towards the top deck area where you can play that ball.
Yep, Tox does love their pizza, and they love to hold the ball right around there, as you're going to see Trippy now trying to make something happen. As you take a look, 1 dead for each side.
Play ball comes in here from Tox Gaming then. Very close game. 3 players trapped bottom middle here for Reciprocity.
Now we've seen Reciprocity in this place before onset, a little bit of a lead and some very good numbers on the board. They're outslaying again, 23-20. We have not seen strong late game performances from them this evening.
And you've seen a lot of screen watching here from Trippy as well. He's looking at where the players are coming in from Tox Gaming, and that's why his rotations have been really effective with this oddball. Looking at your teammate's screen and where they're taking those battles means that you can quite simply just run the other way.
Great job from Olo there. Will be a trade though that's matched there by Royal 2. This ball really has spending a lot of time around top pizza. Both teamers really preferring to hold the ball here throughout the game so far. 30-point lead for Reciprocity.
3 dead though for Reciprocity, and the camo's going to be coming up soon. You can see Frosty now moving towards the Pelican here, looking to get that power up in his hands. The rocket launcher's going to be popping as well, and Tox have been on top of the rocket launcher so far. They've got both of those off the bat. Now we're going to see Frosty with the beat down here to pick up the big double onto Ola. That should open things up. They move the oddball away while all this is happening as well, and Frosty takes down Trippy top mid. That's a killing spree. 5 in a row for Frosty.
Here's the question, what can Saiyan do with the Rockets off screen? He uses both to kill Royal 2, so the Rockets are now out of play. Only gets 1 kill with them. Not really going to be enough, and not exactly what he wanted to do with those.
Frosty is just moving around the map so beautifully at the moment. Always has the first shot on his opponents, always in a position to have an advantage in a battle, and Trippy finally shuts him down, and the camouflage is going to go into the hands of Snipedown now. Way into this now for Rec.
And I got to give credit to Royal 2. Off screen, Saiyan had to use both Rockets against Royal 2, who pushed in so aggressively and ate both of those to take those out of the play entirely. A great job from him.
Somehow the ball carrier is staying alive. That's 3 dead here for Tox. Last player alive is going to be in blue, and he gets taken as well by Trippy. So 95-72 here. Snakebite's going to have a battle with Top Pizza, gets the beat down, manages to get the second melee as well to take down Pistola. Now Tox can formulate a push on this oddball.
There's some good frustrating bottom Pelican holds here though from the side of Reciprocity, not making it easy. Look at that from Saiyan. Great performance. That's what we need to see from Reciprocity. Get creative, get aggressive.
Yeah, the play ball came in as well, and look at this, Reciprocity straight on top of that objective. Like they should have been in the first series, and now they're racking up points once again. 111 points to 72. Reciprocity doing a great job of baiting that oddball, keeping players off of it from Tox Gaming, and they're picking up the important kills as well, Top Pizza.
So this is a very different match we're seeing so far, because we once again still see the slays really close. Right now it is 40-39 in favor of Tox, but Frosty, by the way, is going off. He's 17-11 so far.
17-11. I didn't even know we'd had enough time in the match so far to have 17 kills on the board, and now Frosty's going to look for the trade, but missed that one pistol shot, which allowed Saiyan to win that battle, and Snakebite now with the play ball recognizes the situation, takes on Trippy, but Pistola comes in with the help.
Some great team shooting there once again. Rockets, by the way, popping right now in about 1 second. Curious to see exactly where those will land. Lethal will fall too.
Yep, and Reciprocity going to get that ball back to blue once again. Frosty's going to be taken down by Pistola. 2 kills go down to Rec here, and they're going to get the power weapons now.
Look at this, still 2 dead for Tox. Now this is comfortable for Reciprocity.
Just 20 points, Andy.
That's it, Ola can play this so well. Just bait the ball with those rockets.
There's 1, Pistola takes down 1. Lethal trades with Trippy, the camo's coming up as well, but I'm not sure if Tox really have enough time to even prioritize that. Pistola with a killing spree. Lethal trapped in bottom blue right now, 142 points on the board, but Reciprocity not currently holding the ball.
Right now, Reciprocity just needs to take their time. Look at this, full camo for Trippy. Game in his hands here. If he picks up these kills, they can close this out. He doesn't even need to. Great teamwork. This should be their last push if they play this correctly.
Yeah, and Pistola's pushing on this oddball player now. Lethal does pick up a kill. Snakebite somehow gets a ball beat down. This is a huge moment in this match here for Trippy. He's got to play this so well.
Oh, look at that. Look at the screen watching, making sure to
look
pick
at the
up
flank from Frosty. Frosty's on the flank at the moment behind 2 players. He's going to get... Oh, he gets the big beat down on Trippy as well. Oh my, Frosty, that is massive.
2 dead there for a moment for Reciprocity. And even though they're down by quite a few still, they're picking up and stringing together the right kills.
Frosty with another kill here. Frosty, that was the play of the game so far, and if Tox Gaming win this game, it's all because of that flank from Frosty. Trippy couldn't put the camouflage to use, and look at this now, Lethal. This game's getting closer and closer by the second.
These 2 teams so closely matched here in this last one, and what a heartbreaker it would be if Tox were to come back. Now they're only down by 10, but it's 8 points to go for Reciprocity.
That's all it is, 8 points. A couple of kills on the board, and you can win this game, but it's not going their way at the moment. Beatdown comes in from Snakebite.
3 dead.
They get the ball in their hands, and with just 15 seconds or 15 points left, this could well be another game going to Tox.
Still 2 dead, as they're all now spawning. They have 1 last push here. They're not going to be able to do it on set.
They're not going to be able to do it. Look at this, running away. Tox Gaming. Oh, how do they do it? They break hearts. They make history. They just keep winning these games. Look at Royal One behind these four young men. He's getting pumped, he's getting amped. How do they win that game? They should not win that game, but they just do it.
Royal 2 even cracking a little bit of a smile, which is not something you always see on the main stage. On the other side, of course, like we said earlier, that's a heartbreaking defeat for Reciprocity. And doesn't it kind of tell the story of the grand finals so far? Poised to win that game. They were up 142 to 115, but they're unable to close it out in the end. And on set, you saw it happening. Frosty on the flank between Rockets and Camel Right, able to take down Trippy. Trippy was slow playing that, and I would say playing that correctly, screen watching, timing the grenade, but Frosty able to sneak behind that Camo, and then of course his teammates stringing together those final kills, and they're able to come back 150 to 142, and just continuing their dominance in our grand finals.
I mean, if you wanted to talk about mentality of a team, Reciprocity, they probably thought they had that game won. They're thinking about the next game, and then it's just stolen away from you. It's like a punch in the gut, isn't it? I mean, it's everything you don't want to happen in a certain situation happening.
It was 135 to 93 with rocket control. 141 to 93 there in the end.
Well, I mean, it was an insane comeback there from Tox Gaming, and nothing short of what we expected. And now they find themselves for the final time on championship point. And Andy, I mean, pick a game. So what would we have gone for if we had to have a deciding game here on Halo 5?
I mean, you could say, right, CTF Kali has really become kind of the main archetype, the game type that you expect to see. A lot of people's favorites, game type to play and watch as well. Could be our final battleground here. And also, if you're Tox, there might be no other game type that you'd prefer to play, because we've seen them 3-0 teams in under 2 minutes at times with a triple cap. So this is so dangerous for Reciprocity, and I feel like a broken record saying it, so I don't know what else we can expect from Reciprocity. They've had so many opportunities to mentally reset, to get ready for this next game, and if you ask me, they're just going to need to change everything in this next series to fight back. They'd have to reverse sweep their opponents to win this tournament.
Yeah, and it's, that's 7 games on the bounce now, 7, 8 games on the bounce, 7 games on the bounce. I told you my maths wasn't good. I just couldn't do 4 plus 3. That's worrying, isn't it?
It actually is very worrying.
Very, very worrying. But yeah, 7 games on the bounce now. I mean, at this point, they're probably thinking about, just getting off the stage. It's so tough for them, but they can't have that mentality. They have to somehow find something. They have to maybe lean on the experience of Snipe Down, lean on the experience of Pistola.
Yes.
Trippy and Saiyan need to have those two in their ears right now, telling them it is not over until Tox are lifting that trophy.
And I don't know how they will do it, but what they need to do is just that. Remember that this tournament is still up for grabs. We heard Snipe Down saying that he works harder than anyone else, that his team has worked harder than the entire Tox squad in preparation for this tournament. Now, results so far certainly would not suggest that, but they still have every chance to win this tournament. It would require a miracle and some fantastic gameplay, but just like you said, lots of main stage experience for Snipe Down and Pistola. I've had the pleasure of being on rosters with Pistola where we have had crazy reverse sweeps and come back. These guys know it's possible. I just want to know if they believe it.
Well, one player who's certainly probably thinking about getting both hands on that final Halo 5 trophy is the man we're watching some highlights of, Snakebite. PJ has been an inspiration to this team and an inspiration to the Halo 5 community. We don't talk about him enough sometimes, in my opinion. Not only is he one of the best players in Halo, but he's one of the best people in Halo as well. Such a good guy. And he's going to be looking to put both hands on this final trophy here as we potentially go towards our final game as well. But I mean, looking at some of the statistics, again, very, very similar to his long-term duo, Royal 2. And last placement first, regional seed first. What better way to sign things off with another 1 in front of his name?
Absolutely. I mean, these guys really came to put on a show, like we said. Lots to play for here, not just the cash prizes, not just the bragging rights, but really being remembered as the top team. And as you saw Splice, I mean, their biggest competition eliminated in 4th place, their lowest placing since forming. And Tox has made quick work of Reciprocity. I mean, this is the final matchup that a lot of people wanted to see. It is the final bookend of the lethal Snipe Down battle, but so far, it's been all lethal and all Tox in our grand finals.
All right then, Atlanta. One more map potentially here. I want to hear you giving it absolutely everything for the final time. We might be seeing a map of Halo 5. Capture the flag on Coliseum is going to be that game. 3 captures to win. Who's going to make those huge plays? Are Reciprocity going to pull off some magic, though?
All right, starting things off with the man here, Snakebite. He's been so strong throughout this entire grand finals, throughout this entire tournament. And they're going to be looking to make quick work of the guys on Reciprocity.
Pistola pops back out there and gets the first kill. Frosty trades it out Frosty gonna get that sniper rifle as well, and it just seems that every time we watch this particular map and we see Frosty on it off that opening, somehow he gets the sniper in his hand.
And that's right away the first 3 kills going towards Tox. Reciprocity answering back though and getting that stop momentarily, but look at this, they've already crossed the 50-yard line.
They haven't, you're gonna have to get past Frosty if you want to stop it, and that's not gonna be easy. Trippy gets taken down, Sayan and Pistola managed to stop things, but there we go, the man we were talking about gets the flag back, and a big pull comes out here, but this should be a cap here for Tox Gaming if they can just play this right. Return comes in now from Royal 2, or does it? Did the touch come in? No, it didn't, and that flag will potentially eventually go in, but Reciprocity, they're not giving up on this one. Double kill from Snakebite. He finished what he starts, and that's 1-0 to Tox.
Cool, calm, and collected there from Tox on that return. It's unfortunate for Ola. You saw him really trying to get that flag tossed out towards red corner, towards Rockets, but it actually stayed right there on a ledge where Tox was able to get the return without showing face outside of their base.
And Frosty with the sniper rifle again on his window now. You can see Lethal trying to put some pressure on to the elbow area of that wreck base. Sayan now picking up kills of his own. The defensive kills, the kills in his own base. You want to be picking up kills halfway up the map in your opponent's base. Frosty now picks up 1, finishes the kill on Sayan, finds 2 onto Trippy. And you just know that he's hunting, listening to callouts, looking for that beautiful little triple kill.
The worst thing about playing against Frosty on any map, but especially Coliseum, is you are safe nowhere. Even when you think you're fighting a 1v1 battle towards your rocket corner, Frosty has his eye on you from the DMR. Killing spree for Frosty.
Such quick reaction time there to just whip that reticle onto the head of the wreck player and take him down. Let's see if Rec can get a little bit of momentum here. Let's see if they can string a couple of kills together. At the moment, it's small battles they need to win. Just work one by one. Pick up a kill, push up the map, pick up a second kill. Just get yourself back into this series.
I like that one. See him look at Snipe Down flying right into the corner, not being afraid to pick up that kill. A series of trades, but once again, like we saw in the last game, I need to see Reciprocity stepping up with the aggression.
Yeah, and you can see Pistola being taken down there. The flag is away from the Tox base momentarily. Stayan picks up a kill and might think about going for the touch on that one, but Royal 2 is going to position himself beautifully to get an easy return there. Not sure where those rockets might have fallen. Not sure if they're still in play. It's Ola who's actually going desperately back for them, but the best pistol in Halo 5, we heard it. He's not going to let you get away with that one easy.
Sniper rifle also coming up in 25. We're going to be on the lookout for that, but man, if Tox is able to close this out, we will not hear the end of it from Clutch. Even when Tox lost earlier to Reciprocity, he looked at me and shrugged and said, don't worry, they're going to go ahead and come back and win 2 best of 7s. They're only 2 flag caps away from doing so.
So Pistola has those rockets, but they are unfortunately in his own base, and that one's going to disappear somewhere out into the far distance. Sayan picks up a double kill now. That's going to open things up. Pistola's still in this battle here, and he's going to get a trade, and that's going to be 3 dead here for Tox. Let's see if Reciprocity can get aggressive. Sayan has the sniper rifle.
Checking in on the kills category here. It's Tox leading only by 2, 25 to 23. So once again, in terms of slays, these teams so close. Sayan's starting to heat up as well, but it's kind of been too much of the same story for Reciprocity. They are neck and neck in terms of total kills every single game, with Tox, however, significantly outplayed on the objective.
Royal 2 then with the sniper rifle in his hands, and I mean, you wouldn't be surprised to see a clip coming from him that will be viewed thousands of times across the world. Scopes in here on this player, decides not to shoot, and that trigger discipline is so important. He's now locking down this right-hand side of the map, the snipe side of the map, looking over his teammates and allowing his teammates to push in on those kills that he might have gone for himself.
Right, and not shooting not only saves the ammo, but also makes sure the opponents don't know that he's red 1 there, sniping. Doesn't give away his position. Now we can rotate all the way over towards Rocks. They're up in 3 seconds.
Protect our carrier.
Flag going to be pulled here from Reciprocity. However, Snakebite with the flag pull of his own, coming behind Pistola, going to pick up that kill, and Royal 2
3 dead.
Did put that sniper rifle to use, and Royal 2 is going to be protecting Snakebite. We've seen it for years and years. Sayan might be taken down here, but it doesn't matter. The flag is back to the base. Now they just have to work on this return, and here goes Lethal, teaming up with Snakebite to do so.
There's lots of resistance here on Sniper side, though. It's not going to be easy.
Snakebite gets 1 kill. Trippy going to be challenging him. Pistola picks up the kill, and that's going to be Rec managing to get that flag away. However, Royal 2 still in position to maybe put some pressure on that flag himself.
Taking a look at exactly who's in position to get a touch. It's going to be Snipe Down on the other side. So a flag standoff here, and it's a big, big moment here, depending on whether this game will get tied up or go 2-0 in favor of Tox.
2 kills do go down, and he had 2 rockets to work with. Royal 2 on the elbow. He put 1 to use, and I love how he's playing this one. He's not getting too aggressive, doesn't want to give away an easy death. Wants to make sure that he gets a guaranteed kill. Let your teammates push up, and trigger discipline, killing spree. He's going to be pushing in here as well for the return. Oh, Royal 2, you are playing it to the T.
That's going to be another cap. Tox goes up 2-0. Only one cap away, and they're trying to run number 3 right now.
They want this back-to-back, and they want it bad. What better way to finish things off with perfect objective play? PJ, the captain of Tox Gaming, trying to run this one in. Reciprocity desperately trying to make a last stand. Lethal comes in, gets that final kill. They are the greatest Halo 5 teams of all time. Lethal puts it in. Tox Gaming, oh, who else would it be? Your Atlanta champions of Halo 5 for the final time. A dynasty. Nothing else can be said.
Who else would you expect to win the 2018 finals but these 5 on your stage here? So dominant throughout Halo 5's entire reign. And here at DreamHack Atlanta, they make a final statement, going 8-0 to win 2 back-to-back best-of-7s for the final title.
Absolutely unmatched. No one can touch them. The best they came in the entirety of Halo 5 was second, and they finish off with first. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, please put your hands together for those 4 players and that beautiful coach that stands right behind them. They have done everything you could possibly want to achieve in this game. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one final time for your champions of Atlanta, Tox Gaming. There they are. Those 4 men have been absolutely unmatched, as I previously said, Andy. And I mean, what a way to send out Halo 5, right?
It really is. I mean, if you had to write the story, I don't think you could argue that it needed to be written any other way. I mean, to have anyone else holding up this trophy would be quite surprising. And I think their performance here in the grand finals made it pretty clear why that was the case.
Yeah, absolutely unmatched, unparalleled. Fantastic stuff from them all. And I mean, we need to give credit for them not only for this massive win that they've just picked up here, staying together for the entirety of a game's lifespan. I mean, has that ever been done before? Who knows?
It's never been done before, and this is the longest standing roster of Halo history.
Yeah, of all time in Halo history, and that is what it brings you. Another trophy to put on the shelf. Tox Gaming, we salute you.
They've got to be so proud of what they accomplished here at DreamHack, and of course also their entire run in Halo 5. And like we said, I think a lot of people are going to remember what they did here, because we talked about how this event was so important, because being known as the Halo 5 event coming into the event, everyone knew this was the final time that people were going to have a lot to play for. And to do it in the fashion that they did it, 8-0 in the grand finals. Keep in mind, after losing to Reciprocity earlier in the day, it's quite a statement, and I think it really sums up and wraps up their entire years of Halo 5 nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's time, Andy, that we say, thank you to absolutely everyone who has been part of the Halo 5 journey from the start. We go back to 2016 Worlds X Games. Right. It has been an absolute pleasure and a privilege to be just a small part of it. Everyone in the crowd, give yourself a round of applause for everything that you've brought here to Atlanta, to the finals. Andy, brother, it's been an absolute pleasure to do everything with you, buddy, and be in the booth with you. Everyone on the desk, every single member of talent who's been involved, every single tournament organizer who has supported Halo 5, and of course the HCS team from us. I think it's been an absolute pleasure to be a part of this, and for the final time I think we throw it back to the desk and we quite simply say thank you so much.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. That was such a lovely send-off from those two. What a fantastic duo, and what an incredible grand final that we saw. 8-0 for these guys. I mean, Tox Gaming, they are unstoppable. Clutch, I'm going to give it to you, man. At the end of the day, you were right. You were right. You said it. You said it.
You see, the biggest issue with that is, yeah, I did predict them to come back and win that second series and 4-0 sweep them, but I predicted it to happen in 5 minutes on game 4, and unfortunately it lasted 7. That's my bad. I'm learning here, I'm getting better. But yeah, I mean, enough about the jokes and whatnot. That was one of the most impressive performances I've ever seen in Halo, and I've been around for almost a decade. And what a better way to solidify the greatest Halo team of all time.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they were able to do it in that fashion, you know what that team reminds me of? The first Halo World Championships, the first CLG roster where you earned that with them, Wes. It truly was a statement. I mean, they are the best team. They are the best players. They did it in a phenomenal fashion. But, you know, I do want to mention the Reciprocity lineup because it is phenomenal to come out and have your best placing at the final event here for that team. They did an amazing job. You can't take anything away from them that they defeated Tox in the first place. And they fought out and battled all series long, trying to do what they could here. But in the end, like everyone said before, this Tox roster, to stay together the entire length of Halo 5 with the same roster, the longest standing Halo team in history. It starts the way it ends, and they deserve every part of that. It was destined.
How impressed are you both? I'm going to throw this question to both of you with how incredible that series went for Tox, despite the fact that in the winners final, they did actually lose against Reciprocity. I mean, I am totally impressed by this.
I mean, I know I try to act cocky a lot, and I try to defend these boys, and I really do have the most confidence out of anybody in these guys, but nothing they have ever done has really shocked me. It's because of the hard work they put in, and it pays off every time. Congratulations once again.
I mean, absolutely incredible efforts from every single person on that team, and especially to Royal 2, who I have next to me right now, with this incredible trophy right in front of you. Congratulations, dude. Honestly, that was outstanding. I just want to quickly ask you about this winners final, because it is the storyline so far going into this grand final. You guys did lose against Rec. Talk to me about how you guys were feeling after that.
Honestly, we started out really slow. Obviously, we were down 3-0, but we just took game by game, and we came back, and we knew, even though we lost game 7, actually we weren't sad at all. We were just, you know, it is what it is. We just lost. We just put ourselves in a hole. So. And
going into that grand final, I mean, you beat them 8-0. These two best of 7s to you, it looked like child's play. You did such a phenomenal job. Where was the mindset at with your team going into that final match? Because I could see Snakebite talking to you a lot. He was getting a little bit animated there. You know, what was he saying to you guys?
He's just saying like the normal stuff, because usually after every map we go over stuff, and of course he's like our dad, so he just constantly he's like bickering in our ear, you gotta do this, and he just goes over everything that we have to do just to win.
It was absolutely incredible. I mean, gentlemen, we have a champion right here.
Yeah, I mean, the series was phenomenal, but it's really the whole course of your career here in Halo 5 that I want to highlight and talk to you about. Like, what does it mean that you've already had different rosters, you've gone through multiple players, you know, what's it like, what's it mean to you to be able to win the first one, win the last one, and stick together all the way through?
It's an amazing feeling. I've never felt this. Usually through my whole Halo career, I'm constantly changing rosters. Every event or so, someone's leaving, some issue, and it's just amazing to know I kind of have a family. That's what my team is, and yeah, we just keep winning.
Yeah, I mean, and to add on to that, like the finals, like we said, not as climactic as maybe everyone at home watching wanted it to be. But the fact that you were able to come out with this trophy, the fact that Frosty was able to come out with the MVP trophy as well, you guys are essentially cleaning house, wiping the floor with everyone. What was it like with Reciprocity in the finals? Did you have any bittersweet feelings not being able to get Splice again, really the only guys that have been taking you down?
Yeah, it was kind of, I mean, it's okay. It's kind of bittersweet, but it's just whoever we play in the finals, who we play in the finals. It's just whoever's in front of us is we have to take down. That's a classic West quote.
And did you have any worries with the game type rotations? I know, Wes, that was a big one for you. You kept pointing out going into those. Did that really play a factor at all for you guys when you're going into these series?
Yeah, definitely the winners finals was their favorite game types, as you can tell. And we just knew those game types are pretty much done with, and we're never going to see them again. So as soon as we went to the finals, we saw them, and we're like, these are solid game types, and yeah.
That was like a quote right from Wes's book.
Right.
Yeah, sorry, he said that just a minute ago.
I mean, it's like I know you guys like the back of my hand. I mean, I really don't have too many questions for you, just because anything I want to know, I pretty much know your mindset behind it. And we've been connected for so long, Matt. I remember playing against you one tournament and then being like, I got to get that kid on my team. And then since then, I mean, we had some success together, but never did I picture you doing something this special. Never did I picture such a dominant performance. I mean, I always knew you had so much skill, and to watch you come so far, Matt, and to stick with PJ and really just make something special, to become the greatest Halo team, I'm going to say it, of all time. It's been just a pleasure to watch, and to have been just a piece of your history. It's been something special to me.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah,
Royal 2, I just have one quick question for you as well. How does it feel for you and the team to be able to carry that trophy now home at your last ever Halo 5 event as the champions?
It's just something special. Just to know that we can end Halo 5 on this chapter, on a win, it's just, it's a surreal feeling right now.
Yeah, and Royal 2, I wanted to give you an opportunity as well because I can't even imagine Wes and I coming from the competitive experience, like you said, changing rosters, going through the adversity there. Sometimes, you know, you're making the changes. Sometimes you're on the receiving end of things like that happening. You know, what is it? Would you want to say anything to the people that have supported Tox Gaming and your teammates especially too, been with you through this ride?
Thank you to all the fans. I know everyone that came out, thank you for watching. The crowd was amazing. All the Tox fans, any fan that supported any org we were on. Shout out to my team. We've been grinding for 3 years, and this is our life, and this is what we work for.
Honestly, Royal 2, a huge congratulations. You guys have performed and you rightfully deserve this trophy. Enjoy tonight. You know, I'm not going to say exactly what adults do when they win a massive trophy like this and a prize pool like that, but we'll keep that between us. Congratulations and have the best time. Well, let's take a look at the placements from this tournament because we have seen some incredible teams playing their hearts out, and of course, right at the top of the list is Tox Gaming, taking away $120,000. Coming in second, obviously Reciprocity, then Renegade sitting at third, and then Splice at fourth. Who would have guessed Splice being fourth place? Yeah, I can see your hand rising there, Clutch. You guessed it, did you?
Yeah, I said that Friday. They didn't play a lick of Halo coming into this tournament since the last tournament, and they got what they deserved. I mean, they had enough time put into the game to be able to sustain a level to compete in the top 6, but they weren't winning this tournament. I think even they knew they weren't winning this tournament. We interviewed Eco on Friday. He wasn't very confident, and when you're not confident in yourself, it's over.
But I do want to say to Splice too, that what they were able to do coming together, a team like that, winning all those events in a row, that's also very amazing. Like, I really hope these guys don't harp on this too much because they are some of the most talented individual players we've ever had. You know, everybody's got things going on outside of the game that can come in and affect your times. And that only happened once. Like, these guys, you know, are an incredible team, incredible players, and have a long, bright future in esports ahead of them.
Right, they changed the complete situation that we had going on in the Halo scene at the time because we really thought the Tox was going to just dominate for forever, and then they came in and formed this God Squad to compete with them. It was impressive what they were able to do throughout all of Halo 5. Shout out to Splice, and good luck in the future with whatever you choose to do.
I mean, it was phenomenal, and Reciprocity looking incredible on that stage too. I just want to give them the respect that they deserve. They were a phenomenal team throughout this entire tournament. Now, somebody else that is going to be feeling very happy right now is, of course, our Xbox One X winner. And I would like to announce that this guy has won an Xbox One X. So, Travis, congratulations. You are the winner of this brand spanking new bad boy that you can see on that screen. You will be given details later on after the show, but congratulations. Well, gentlemen, what a ride that this has been. What an incredible event to close out here at DreamHack Atlanta. I just want to quickly ask you guys, Clutch, what has been your highlight of this event?
I think the highlight of this event was the Halo 3 2v2. Gabriel and Fantasy came in and did their thing against the best of the best in Roy and Lunch. That was so impressive to me for them to come in and really, they had some struggles, but they were able to figure it out in the end, and hard work pays off. That's what I want everyone to take from this event, is hard work pays off. The teams that played the most and practiced the most came out here, and both of them took home the titles this weekend.
Elamite, what about you?
I mean, it's got to be the gameplay. Really, the event was just so special, special to me. I've been there from the beginning in every fashion, way, shape, and form, from producing to managing to coaching to casting and analyzing up here. So of the event, it was seeing the guys that really deserved it make it, because, you know, like Wes can attest to, coming from that side of the world, you know how much pressure is on these guys' shoulder, and it's great to see them succeed.
Well, gentlemen, I just want to say a huge thank you to you guys for being up here all weekend long in our last event here at DreamHack Atlanta. It's been a pleasure to talk to you as always, and thank you so much for guiding everybody through all of the incredible series we have seen all weekend long. Thank you so much, and I'll see you very, very, very soon. Well, guys, what an amazing weekend it has been. in. Halo 5 has certainly been the wildest ride. 3 years of competition and $6 million given out to some of the best teams in the world. I just want to personally say thank you so much to everybody who has tuned in all weekend long, and a big thank you to 343, HCS and Microsoft for letting me share this special journey with you all. The end is only the beginning. I'm Lottie Van Prague and I'm signing off. Good night.